Daily page of the Daf Yomi. Friends, we've made fantastic leaps and bounds. We're already on page number 18 here of Masechet Menachot. Absolutely phenomenal over here. Many different insights. And we're going to see a very special quotation in today's page inside the Gemara. Amud Aleph, on page number 18, Yud Chet naturally. How fortunate are you, Torah sages, great Torah scholars in of itself, that the words of Torah are so beloved to you. And that's actually quoted by a great rabbi, Rabbi Elazar ben Shemoah. This is actually in today's page. So this quotation, we love to sometimes put quotations on in of itself here inside the Talmud of ethical teachings and correct teachings, and how important Torah is inside the world. They actually say a famous antidote in as we learned about in the Ethics of the Fathers in Pirkei Avot, within regards to Talmud Torah Keneged Kulam, that every single aspect that we do inside our lives, friends, the Torah learning is equal to all different things that we are doing, friends, over here. And brilliant story, just to illustrate the importance of Torah. We actually learned famous story with regards to Hillel. We'll obviously know about the whole Bet Hillel and Bet Shammai, the great robust machlokets and arguments with regards to finding out the truths within regards to the Torah in of itself. But Bet Hillel, one time Hillel as a Ken, also known as many great stories actually connected within regards to him. Let's share a couple of stories within regards to him. That one time it was, I think he was, as a profession, he would cut woods in the forest, and he did it in those days in the Talmudic academies. Inside the Beit Midrash, you had to pay a specific fee to enter inside this Talmudic academy, inside this Beit Midrash. And it happened to be like not such a successful day to him, and he didn't have the full amount. So the guard at the door, he wanted a sum of fee, because obviously there was expenses inside this synagogue in this place in itself. I think it was at that point in time the great Rabbi Shammai and Avtalion were coming in, and he didn't have the sum of money, so it was distraught. But he said to himself, he came with an idea. He loved the Torah so much. Obviously, he could have learned by himself. I'm sure he knew a lot of the Torah that in those days it was learned by pair. We didn't have books in those days to assist us and to tell us what there is with translations. So he wouldn't come in. It was a very cold day, friends, over there, freezing. I think it was snowing. And what did he decide to do? He's allowed to go up the roof, and there's a special window over there. Well, in likelihood, he can actually listen to the robust shiur that's going on of Torah, which is at the highest level. It was the Academy of Shmaya and Avtalion. So what would he do? He would go up. It was cold that night. He said, I listened to that and succeeded listening. But after several hours and so on and so forth, and it was absolutely freezing. I think it happened to be a Shabbat night over there. So obviously when he was coming in and paid the fee, it would have been before Shabbat. Probably, I'd assume they were providing meals and so on and so forth. But he went to listen to the shiur. He froze totally. He was totally frozen by the end of this Talmudic class, this end of the yeshiva class of Shmaya and Avtalion. And I think it was early morning. They came up, and then there was it was getting light, and they saw it was all dark at that point in time, and they saw obviously his body was covered, the roof in totality at that point in time. So they came quickly, ran up to the roof, and they were allowed to obviously break Shabbat at that point in time to heat up, bring all the heating elements to warm him up and to make sure that he will be warm totally, and he will be able to start breathing again and recover. But that just shows the Mesirat Nefesh, how much there's a love for the Torah. We've got every opportunity, and nowadays we live in a world, a day and age, where there's so much opportunity out there to listen to Torah. Yes, true, there's so much opportunity. If God forbid someone wants to do so much bad things and watch so many bad things that you would have never had in any previous generation of itself. But at the same time, you've got so much Torah opportunities of Torah scholarship. Just, you can be driving inside the car listening to Urim. You can be walking in the street listening to, you could be choosing between hundreds of rabbis with different applications and different channels in of itself, and gain really the excellent wisdom of Torah in of its own premium facilities. That's something that we very much have to point out. But at the same time, you've got all this opportunity over there. And just like Hillel, he was willing to freeze, literally, in the freezing conditions. How many of us would be out there if we see that there's, let's say, a great shiur, weekly shiur, and it happens to be snowing in torrentious conditions. How many of us will actually go inside there? You know, we might have our cars, our heated cars, and so let's assume we don't have cars and the air conditioning. We know that we've got to walk, you know, some of distance with it. Will we actually do it or not? Like Hillel HaZaken, the great Hillel the elder. And we see, you know, all this Mesirut Nefesh and this greatness in Torah, how we can refine the character. I want to state over another story with regards to Hillel, the elder. There was one time another famous story. We all learn it, all the kids. We tell it to our children in school, especially in the kindergartens. It's one of the most famous stories about self-control and anger within regards to Hillel HaZaken, Hillel the elder. One time it was, I think there were two mischievous people. They wanted to do a bet, a wager. No, it wasn't a sports bet. It wasn't a betting spree, let's just say, within regards to horses and stuff like that. They want to see if they can get this great Rabbi Hillel angry. The same Hillel. I'd assume this was a period later. I'm not too sure the timeline within regards to it. And they said they would bet a wager of a currency of 400 zuz. Now, just as a side point, zuz was the currency of those days, and zuz means to move about. So just like money is something that moves around the whole time. It goes from person to person. That's why it's called zuz. It's got the lashon, this language of movement in of itself. So they would bet 400 zuz. Can we get Hillel angry? So one of them said, I bet you can't get him angry. And then a very, very bad, naughty person is going to say, yes, I can. And what does he do? This let's just say this very, very mischievous, not good person. He comes, it's Erev Shabbat, it's before Shabbat, and he says, I'm going to get him angry. It's my opportunity over here. So what does he do? He devises a plan. So he goes outside the house, the vicinity of Hillel in his neighborhood, and he shouts, who here is Hillel? Who here is Hillel? He's not giving him the title of Rabbi or Hacham Hillel over here, just giving it in a derogatory term. Who in this place is Hillel? So he comes out and he says, yes, I am Hillel over here. And comes out, what do you want? In a very, very courteous, a very, very polite manner. Hillel is actually going to argue him. And he asks the most ridiculous question, if I'm not mistaken. Why is it that Africans have like wide feet, one of these things? And Hillel gives with a smile, says it's a good question, you know, and is giving logical reasoning of why is that. Now he's coming inside. A shot returns. It's just before Shabbat. He's having a hot shower, and then once again, someone is screaming at the top of his volume. Who here? Who in this place is Hillel? Who in this place is Hillel? And then once again, it comes, puts on his robe, and comes with a smile. Yes, how can I help you, sir? Over here. Then asks another ridiculous question, and I think Hillel's going to answer it. Because of the way the people were born, the maidservants were actually born, these people in of itself. I can't remember the actual question in hand. Once again, he'll go back, he'll return, and who here is Hillel? Who in this place is Hillel? Once again, he comes with a smile. How can I help you, sir? How is everything? And asks another question. He gives a detailed answer. And this is, I've got so many questions. So Hillel sits down with him with all the time. Well, you can ask me whatever you want, with a smile, with a politeness, and a courteous, and he starts asking more questions. And then at the end, he gets angry. He sees he's not succeeding in angering Hillel, and he says, "Are you Hillel over here?" So on and so forth. He says yes, and then he insults him. All of a sudden, he gives him a jab over there. There should be no one else like you over here. And because of you, I have lost 400 zuz. So you know what Hillel answers him with a smile? He says, it's kedai that to lose this sum of money, 400 zuz of that currency, than to make a Hillel or a Chacham, a rabbi, angry. So you can just see in of itself, we're talking about in Torah scholarship, the importance within regards to gaining it and garnering it. That's what Hillel very much did over here. And at the end, this very, very bad, mischievous person lost the wager over there because he couldn't get him angry. Because the Torah scholar, they've got clarity, they've got clarification, they've got reasoning, they've got thought processes, they know what to do. The Torah teaches the derech eretz. Torah im derech eretz. It's one of the most famous phrases that is actually used within regards to Torah and Torah learning in of itself. And that's what is nurtured within regards to Hillel HaZaken in these stories. And we just know that just using this antidote, which we're learning about in today's page inside the Gemara, how important Torah learning is for refining our character, to making ourselves perfect and complete, and and just seeing perfection. So if you guys are not learning Torah per se in of itself, now is the time. Take it, breathe it, learn it. If you're learning a few minutes a day, learn 5 minutes a day. If you are learning over here, like say 10 minutes a day, learn maybe extend it to 1 hour a day. If you're learning 1 hour a day, do 2 hours a day. Extend the amount of Torah learning that you're doing the whole time. And you never know, sometimes people will say, I've got no time to study Torah, it's taking up all my time. How can I learn Torah? There's no time in the day. I've got this to do, I've got that to do. All these different excuses can be brought in. But the truth is, Rabbi once told me that when you're actually studying, when an individual is actually learning Torah, they're going to realize how much more time in the day they actually have over there. Because you open up, because it opens up your mind with so many different things, and then all of a sudden you can realize I've got so much extra time over here. I'm wasting so much other times, and there's so many other free time periods in of itself to learn Torah. So that's just another teaching over here. But I think on that note, wishing you all a fantastic day. Boker Tov and Barach. And friends, if you're tuning in live to the community and you're new over here, welcome to our community. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and watch over all the videos we are recording within regards to the daily page of the Daf Yomi. So wishing you all a fantastic day, and watch the previous editions here on Masechet Menachot. Thank you very much, everyone, and bye.